The Senate will come to order. Mr. Majors, would you please call the roll?
Senators Aguilar, Baumgartner, Carroll, Cook, Crowder, Donovan, Garcia, Grantham, Guzman, Heath, Hill, Hodge, Holbert, John, Johnston, Jones, Kafalis, Kerr, Lambert, Lundberg, Marble, Martinez-Humanic, Merrifield. Merrifield. Neville. Newell. Roberts. Scheffel. Scott. Sonnenberg. Stedman. Tate. Todd. Ulibarri. Woods. Mr. President.
Here. With 35 present, 0 absent, 0 excused, we have a quorum. Colleagues and guests, would you please stand as we honor our country with the Pledge of Allegiance? Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the reading of the journal be approved for Wednesday, March 30th, and that it be dispensed with, approved, and is corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is approved and the journal is adopted. Please welcome Senator Penfield Tate back to the chamber. He's just sitting back here. Welcome, Senator. Committee reports.
March 30th, 2016, Committee on Judiciary, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1153 before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation with the recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Judiciary, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 164 before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Judiciary, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 169 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. March 30th, 2016, Mr. President, the Committee on Business, Labor, Technology has had under consideration as at a hearing on the following appointment recommends the appointment be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Member of the Colorado Banking Board for a term expiring July 1st, 2019. Diane Sadling Barrett of Denver, Colorado to serve as a representative of the public, reappointed. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Business, Labor, Technology, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 78 be postponed indefinitely. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Business, Labor, Technology, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 161 be referred favorably to Committee on Finance. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Business, Labor, Technology, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 159 be postponed indefinitely. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1166 be postponed indefinitely. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1001 be postponed indefinitely. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1014 be referred favorably to Committee on Appropriations. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1035 be referred to Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation with the recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 144 be referred to the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 113 be referred to the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. March 30th, 2016, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 38 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee on Finance with a favorable recommendation.
Senate Services.
March 31st, 2016, correctly printed Senate Bills 177 and 178, Senate Joint Resolutions 25 and 26, Senate Memorial 1, correctly engrossed Senate Bills 153 and 160, correctly re-engrossed Senate Bill 137, correctly revised House Bills 1027, 1215, 1224, 1262, 1263, 1264, 1265, 1271, and 1353, correctly re-revised House Bills 1100, 1173, 1183, 1198, 1255, 1258, 1259, and 1316, correctly enrolled Senate Joint Resolution 14.
Message from the House.
March 30th, 2016, Mr. President, the Speaker has announced that Senator Heath has been added as co-prime sponsor with Senator Donovan on House Bill 1156.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Majors, would you please read the titles of all the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar?
House Bill 1271 by Representative Singer and Norberg and Senators John and Lundberg concerning the ability of the limited winery that has a winery direct shipper's permit to deliver vinous liquids of its own manufacture directly to the personal consumer without the use of a common carrier. Senate Bill 153 by Senator Crowder and Representative Wilson concerning nominees for county court judges. House Bill 1027 by Representative Danielson and Senators Todd and Sonnenberg concerning depositions in criminal cases in which an at-risk person may not be available for trial. House Bill 1262 by Representative Williams and Senator Cook concerning measures to improve peace officer hiring in connection with requiring employment waivers as part of the background check process for a person applying for a position as a peace officer who has worked as an officer and giving the post board the authority to deny certification to an applicant who entered into a deferred agreement. House Bill 1265 by Representatives Milton and Exar and Senators Johnson and Cook concerning expungement of arrest records based on mistaken identity. House Bill 1353 by Representatives Duran and Del Grosso and Senators Sheffel and Guzman concerning payment of expenses of the Legislative Department.
Majority Leader Sheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate adopt all the bills listed on the third reading of bills for final passage consent calendar, which includes House Bill 1271, Senate Bill 153, House Bill 1027, House Bill 1262, House Bill 1265, and House Bill 1353.
The motion before the body is the adoption of all of the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar. Is there further discussion on any of the bills? Are there any no votes on any of the bills? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1271 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Woods, Senator Jones, Senator Baumgardner, Senator Crowder, Senator Holbert, Senator Cook, Senator Neville, Senator Kerr, Senator Tate, Senator Scott, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Heath, Senator Merrifield, Senator Aguilar, Senator Lambert, Senator Donovan, Senator Hill, Senator Garcia, Senator Grantham, please add the President. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 153 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Majority Leader Sheffel, Senator Martinez-Humenick, with 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1027 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Scott, Senator Merrifield, Senator Woods, Senator Cook, Senator Tate, Senator Lundberg, Senator Newell, Senator Lambert, Senator John, Senator Heath, Senator Kafalis, Senator Baumgardner, Majority Leader Sheffel, Senator Kerr, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Marble. Senator Jones. Please have the president. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1262 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Senator Baumgartner, Minority Leader Guzman, Mr. Majority Leader, Senator Heath, Senator Scott, Senator Roberts, Senator Ulibarri, Senator Merrifield, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Crowder, Senator Kafalis, Senator Carroll, Senator Woods, Senator Neville, Senator Hodge, Senator Todd, Senator Lundberg, Senator Marble, Senator John, Senator Stedman, Senator Lambert, Senator Tate, Senator Aguilar, Senator Johnson, Senator Jones, Senator Newell, we have room for a couple more. Please have the president. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1265 is adopted. Co-sponsors: Mr. Majority Leader, maybe we should do this. Who doesn't want to co-sponsor? Senator Kafalis, Senator Carroll, Senator Roberts, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Lambert, Minority Leader Guzman, Senator Hodge, Senator John, Senator Baumgartner, Senator Woods, Senator Donovan, Senator Stedman, Senator Scott, Senator Neville, Senator Merrifield, Senator Heath, Senator Tate, Senator Todd, Senator Lundberg, Senator Aguilar, Senator Ulibarri, Senator Kerr, Senator Newell, Senator Garcia, Senator Jones, co-sponsors: Senator Grantham, Senator Hill, please have the president. Senator Tiny Dancer, Senator Marble. The Senate will stand in a brief recess so Senator Marble can recuperate from her calisthenics. Sergeants, please bring her some water. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1353 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Wow, what a difference a bill makes. Minority Leader Goose. The aisle is free. Would you please show us your interest in co-sponsoring? Senator Guzman, Senator Aguilar. You're on the bill. Senator Grantham. Committee reports.
March 30th, 2016, Committee on Health and Human Services, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following Senate Bill 158 be amended as follows, and also amended before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. March 30th, 2016, Committee on Health and Human Services, after consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends following House Bill 1063 before the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation.
Third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1224?
House Bill 1224 by Representative Lundin, Senator Woods, concerning child abuse involving human trafficking of minors.
Senator Woods.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of House Bill 1224 on third reading and final passage and ask for the use of the present roll call.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1224. Are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1224 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Mr. Majority Leader, Minority Leader Guzman, Senator Marble, Senator Heath, Senator Tate, Senator Jones, Senator Neville, Senator Carroll, Senator Cook, Senator Kafalas, Senator Lambert, Senator Aguilar, Senator Scott, Senator John, Senator Roberts, Senator Merrifield, Senator Baumgardner, Senator Newell. Why don't you tell me who'd like to co-sponsor? Senator Newell. Senator Crowder. Senator Johnston. Senator Lundberg. Senator Todd. Senator Martinez-Humenick. Senator Donovan, Senator Holbert, Senator Kerr, please add the president. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1215?
House Bill 1215 by Representative McCain and Senator Guzman concerning changing the statutory purposes of parole to successfully reintegrate parolees into society by providing enhanced supportive services.
Minority Leader Guzman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1215 on third reading and final passage.
You've heard the motion. Is there further discussion? Are there any no votes? Senator Cook, Senator Crowder, Senator Lambert, Senator Marble, Senator Sonnenberg, Senator Woods, Senator Aguilar, Senator Scott, Senator Baumgardner, Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I wish to be recorded.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I wish to be recorded as an aye vote.
Senator Aguilar will be recorded as an aye vote. Are there any more no votes? With 27 ayes, 8 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1215 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Aguilar, thank you. Senator Kafalis, Senator Ulibarri, Senator Jones, Senator Stedman, Senator Merrifield, Senator Kerr, Senator Carroll, Senator Heath, Senator Todd, Senator Newell, Senator Donovan, Senator Hill, Senator John, Senator Johnston, Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1263?
House Bill 1263 by Representative Williams and Senator Ulibarri concerning updates to the statutory prohibition on profiling by peace officers.
Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1263 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1263. Are there any no votes? Senator Baumgardner. Senator Marble. Senator Neville. Senator Lambert. Senator Scott. Senator Woods. Senator Sonnenberg. Senator Holbert. Senator Hill. With 26 ayes, 9 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1263 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Minority Leader Guzman, Senator Roberts, Senator Heath, Senator Kafalis, Senator Aguilar, Senator Carroll, Senator Stedman, Senator Jones, Senator Kerr, Senator Todd, Senator Merrifield, Senator Newell, Senator Johnston. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 160?
Senate Bill 160 by Senator Lambert and Representative Lundin, considering clarification of the status of state police power jurisdiction on federally managed lands to address issues that affect the public safety of the residents of the state.
Senator Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 160.
Is there further discussion? Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, colleagues. Trust me, I'll be brief. Yesterday's discussion on this bill was lively and interesting, and with many comments said by many colleagues that I found myself agreeing with. So I wanted to rise on thirds because I think there were two important messages that are worth restating. First, this chamber has worked hard to address wildland fire concerns, but we still have more work we need to do. We need to continue to press for full federal support and make sure our locals are empowered in every resource that they need. Second, there was a very strong response on the floor and from our constituents that this bill may negatively impact how our public lands are managed. While there is disagreement on that point, we cannot deny how strongly the state feels about the conservation of our public lands, and this bill created concern. I think that just signifies how Colorado feels about this particular issue. I think we can all agree we need to continue to work together to address both these issues brought forth because of this bill, but I think SB 160 creates uncertainty around a foundational aspect of our state and around critical issues. I respectfully ask for a no vote, but I do thank the sponsor for creating opportunity for the robust discussion.
Senator Lundberg.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. President. I come down to the well to address my support for Senate Bill 160 on third reading because some uncertainty has been created, but it's not the bill. It's the opposition arguments that really aren't the bill. And let me frame this a little bit in this sense. I'm a great proponent for enjoying the national forests in the state of Colorado. I suspect I've spent more time out there than anybody else in the room. I could be wrong. There could be some other folks who've been out there for months on end as well. You know, living with a backpack, and I don't know how many thousands of miles I've actually traveled on the trails. So I certainly appreciate the access that we have. And if this bill were to jeopardize that in any way, I wouldn't support the bill. And I'll tell you what I've observed, though, as a senator for most of Larimer County, which includes some of those lands owned by the federal government, is they aren't always the best stewards of the land. And when it comes to those moments of crisis where there's a fire or a flood or some other issue, which is what this bill is about, they are not the first responders. Senate Bill 160 is to empower, is to make, really to clarify what's already there, but to put it down in black and white in very clear terms that the local authority and jurisdictional responsibility is not the federal government when it comes to the emergency response issues. To construe that somehow Senate Bill 160 is going to jeopardize access to the land is completely upside down. Because the real point is to put the response in the hands of those who know it best, and that starts with the sheriff in your local county. That's what Senate Bill 160 is all about. So if there, as I say, if there's a confusion, it's not the bill, but it is a lot of debate and argument. I know I've gotten some of this from constituents who are saying we need access, we don't want to lose our land, and so vote against 160. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, you don't understand what the bill is doing. I strongly urge supporting Senate Bill 160 because we, the people of Colorado, should have the first access and the first ability to address the needs in the, when there's an emergency of any sort on the land in Colorado, and that includes the land that the federal government owns and doesn't have exclusive jurisdictional authority over, such as a military base. This is national forest land. This is BLM land. These are the areas that we, the people of Colorado, should assert our responsibility over, and Senate Bill 160 simply makes that clearer. Please vote yes.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Bill 160. Are there any no votes? Minority Leader Guzman, Senator Jones, Senator John, Senator Garcia, Senator Ulibarri, Senator Heath, Senator Kafalis, Senator Carroll, Senator Merrifield, Senator Todd, Senator Kerr, Senator Aguilar, Senator Johnston, Senator Newell, Senator Hodge, Senator Stedman, Senator Donovan, with 18 ayes, 17 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 160 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Mr. Majority Leader, Senator Scott, $5. Senator Marble, Senator Woods, Senator Neville, Senator Roberts, Senator Grantham, Senator Crowder, Senator Holbert, Senator Cook, Senator Tate, Senator Hill. Please, Senator Sonnenberg, Senator Baumgardner. Please have the President. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Bill 1264?
House Bill 1264 by Representative Melton and Senator Johnston concerning prohibiting the use of a chokehold by a peace officer.
Senator Johnston.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1264 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote. Members, I'll just say quickly, I'm proud to be a part of this proposal where both law enforcement and the civil rights community have come together to say that there are reasonable steps we can make to rebuild the trust between those two groups, and part of them is by ensuring that there isn't use of potentially deadly force like a chokehold in instances where no such violence is necessary. Important step forward. Ask for your support and an aye vote on House Bill 1264.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1264. Are there any no votes? Senator Baumgardner, Senator Marble, Senator Hill, Senator Lambert, Senator Sonnenberg, Senator Neville, Senator Holbert, Senator Tate, Senator Scott, with 26 ayes, 9 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1264 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Minority Leader Guzman, Senator Roberts, Senator Carroll, Senator Heath, Senator Kafalis, Senator Jones, Senator Aguilar, Senator Stedman, Senator Martinez-Humenick, Senator Todd, Senator Kerr, Senator Hodge, Senator Newell, Senator Merrifield, Senator Ulibarri. Message from the House.
March 31st, 2016, Mr. President, the House has adopted and transmits herewith House Joint Resolution 1012.
Introduction of resolutions.
House Joint Resolution 1012 by Representatives Pabon and Duran, Senators Aguilar and Ulibarri concerning recognition of Cesar Chavez Day and honoring Dolores Huerta.
Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We move House Joint Resolution.
Senator, do you seek recognition? Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move House Joint Resolution 1012 and ask that it be read at length.
Whereas Cesar Estrada Chavez was born on March 31st, 1927, on a small farm near Yuma, Arizona, and was raised by migrant farm workers. And whereas during the Great Depression, Cesar Chavez's father lost his small farming business, and they, like many other families, became migrant workers. They joined some 30,000 workers who followed the crops from Arizona into Southern California. And whereas Cesar Chavez left school with the 8th grade to labor in the fields and vineyards of the Southwest to help support his family. And whereas in 1944, at the age of 17, Cesar Chavez joined the Navy and served his country. And whereas after experiencing years of discrimination and unfair working conditions, Cesar Chavez dedicated his life to improving the plight of farm workers through struggle, sacrifice, and self-denial. And whereas Cesar Chavez formed his own organization in 1962, the National Farm Workers Association, which later became the United Farm Workers of America, or UFW, to help farm workers like himself win equal rights and fair treatment. And whereas when recognizing Cesar Chavez, it is only right to recognize the accomplishments of UFW co-founder Dolores Huerta for her work on behalf of farm workers. And whereas Dolores Huerta brought forward a unique voice on behalf of women to ensure all workers had fair representation. And whereas in 1965, Cesar Chavez led a strike of California grape pickers to demand higher wages and urged all Americans to boycott table grapes as a show of support. And whereas Cesar Chavez believed in the principles of nonviolence practiced by Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and used tactics such as boycotts, marches, strikes, and fasts to lead a successful 5-year boycott that gained millions of supporters and new members for farm labor unions across the United States. And whereas by 1970, Cesar Chavez and the UFW had persuaded grape growers to accept union contracts and had successfully organized almost the entire industry. And whereas during a fast in 1972, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta coined the phrase "Si se puede," which in English means "yes, it can be done," reflecting their conviction that failure happens only by giving up on nonviolent tactics. And whereas the work of Cesar Chavez was informed by his devout Catholic faith, and he traditionally included images of Our Lady of Guadalupe at marches and demonstrations and led supporters in praying the rosary. Whereas in 1975, Cesar Chavez and the UFW's efforts resulted in the California Agricultural Labor Relations Act, a groundbreaking law protecting the right of farm workers to unionize. And whereas Cesar Chavez tirelessly devoted himself to making all people aware of the struggles of farm workers and their need for better pay and safer working conditions. And whereas Cesar Chavez and the organization he co-founded with Dolores Huerta, the UFW, achieved the following: the first collective bargaining agreement between farm workers and growers in the continental United States, and the first union contracts requiring rest periods, clean drinking water, hand washing facilities, and protective clothing against pesticide exposure, and the first ban on pesticide spraying while workers were in the fields, and the first ban on DDT and other dangerous pesticides. And the first and only performing pension plan for retired farm workers, the first union contracts regulating safety and sanitary conditions in farm labor camps and banning discrimination in employment and sexual harassment of female workers, and abolition of the use of the infamous short-handled hoe that crippled generations of farm workers, and extension of state coverage under unemployment, disability, and workers' compensation to farm workers. And whereas on April 23, 1993, Cesar Estrada Chavez died peacefully in his sleep in San Luis, Arizona. And whereas in 1994, President Bill Clinton posthumously awarded Cesar Chavez the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. And whereas Cesar Chavez influenced and inspired millions of Americans to seek social justice and civil rights for the poor and disenfranchised in our society. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the Senate concurring herein, that we, the members of the General Assembly, honor a man and woman who devoted their lives to improving the working conditions, safety, and dignity of so many on the day that the entire state observes as Cesar Chavez Day, March 31st, 2016, while recognizing Dolores Huerta. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to State Senator Rob Hernandez, who, with State Representative Frana Mace, was the first prime sponsor of Senate Joint Resolution 9943, recognizing Cesar Chavez. State Representative Fran Coleman, State Representative Val Vigil, State Senator Polly Baca, State Senator Abel Tapia, each member of Colorado's congressional delegation, Dolores Huerta of the Dolores Huerta Foundation, Dr. Ramon del Castillo, co-founder of the Cesar Chavez Peace and Justice Committee and professor and chair of the Chicana and Chicano Studies Department at Metropolitan State University of Denver, Woodbury Library in Denver, the members of the Pueblo City Council, Cesar Chavez Academy in Pueblo, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock, and the members of the Denver City Council in recognition of their efforts to promote Cesar Chavez Day.
Colleagues and guests, please be seated. Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, thank you for joining us in celebrating and honoring the life of Cesar Chavez and the continuing work and legacy of Dolores Huerta. For those of you who got up this morning and had your breakfast, just take a moment to think about how the food in front of you ended up there. Probably was connected to a farm worker, someone who toiled in the fields to harvest the grain you used or the berries in your cereal. What is important, and I think so revolutionary about Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, is that they inspired millions to understand that we as individual human beings have agency. We have the ability to stand up for ourselves, to fight our own fights, and to speak truth to power by using nonviolent direct action tactics. And it changes the world. It can create better working conditions and safer food, not just for the workers themselves, but for us. And I think that's the enduring legacy of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, that they both stood up when they saw injustice, and using nonviolent direct action techniques, engaged in boycotts and strikes and protests, and won, and fought against some of the biggest corporations in the world at the time. And they inspired a country. But their work extends far beyond the farm workers, and their legacy lives on in so many more movements today. And that's why we honor them with this resolution. And colleagues, I would respectfully ask that you vote yes on House Joint Resolution 1016.
Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, thank you for your attention to this resolution. And I also want to thank you for all the work we do here in ensuring that our workers are still treated equally and with respect and are not asked to work in harmful situations, and look forward to continuing to work with you to achieve further rights for our workers in our state.
Senator Kafalis.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning, colleagues. I rise in support of House Joint Resolution 12, and I am glad that we take the time to honor the great people that have come before us, like Cesar Chavez. As was mentioned in today's morning prayer by the pastor, when he talked a little bit about Cesar Chavez, he said that this was more than about lettuce and grapes. It is about people. And I think that the life of Cesar Chavez serves as a very good example of how we can strive to live our lives. He worked in the fields as a migrant worker as a child. He came from very limited means, and he overcame many, many barriers to dedicate himself to public service. And I think that is a good example for the rest of us. He was a believer and a practitioner of nonviolent social change. He believed that the best way to affect social change is to stay focused on the values that I think we all share around social justice and around economic justice and around supporting groups that are often marginalized so that ultimately they can advocate for themselves and help bring about constructive change. He dedicated his life to public service, which I think is what we do here, and he offered a way of bringing people together in order to affect change rather than separating people. We need more bridges rather than walls, and I think Cesar Chavez demonstrated a way for us to do that. Thank you, colleagues, for listening.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's important that we celebrate Mr. Chavez Day and recognize him from an agriculture specific perspective, someone who has done things to make sure that all ag workers are protected. Those things that he did to make sure that we did not have chemicals in the field when we had workers. Those type of things were important, and he has moved the ball forward for agriculture. And for agriculture, we are grateful for what he has done.
Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too would like to, come forward and support HJR 1012 for the contributions that the farm workers have made to agriculture. And you see a lot of what happened back in that period of time is actually still in play today. Clean water facility or restroom facilities in the field. And, there's a lot of attributes that Cesar Chavez did that picked up an entire sect of farm workers, and it's impressive that it actually took very little to get where we are, and that was showing the farm workers the dignity in which they deserve. So I think the contribution that Cesar Chavez Day brings to us not only benefits the farm workers, but I think it benefits us also in agricultural, and I think it benefits us as a nation. Thank you very much.
Senator Aguilar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, thank you for your attention. I'd like to close by reading a quote from Cesar Chavez. It says, "Once social change begins, it can't be reversed. You can't uneducate someone who has learned to read. You can't humiliate someone who has pride. And you can't oppress someone who is not afraid." And I thank you for your attention, and I ask for your support for House Joint Resolution 16-1012.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1012. Are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Joint Resolution 1012 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Aguilar.
Thanks, Mr. President. I ask that the morning roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Without objection, the morning roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Senator Aguilar.
Mr. President, may I have a moment of personal privilege?
That would mean we need to proceed out of order, which, since we technically already have, maybe we won't vote on that. Granted.
Thank you. I just wanted to recognize former Senator Pali Baca, who is in the chamber, and thank you for all your work in advancing rights for our Latino population in Colorado. Thank you.
And Senator Aguilar asked me to also include the recognitions for Senator Rob Hernandez, who has joined us as well this morning. Senator Hernandez, welcome back. General orders, second reading of bills. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate lay over the general order second reading of bills calendar to April 4th.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The general order second reading of bills calendar will lay over until April 4th. Consideration of House amendments to Senate bills. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 126?
Senate Bill 126 by Senator Roberts and Representatives Garnett and Nordberg concerning parity of state charter banks with federally chartered banks regarding frequency of meetings.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate concur with House amendments to Senate Bill 126, and please do join me in the hiss. Hiss.
What are we hissing about? Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, the House felt it was really important to add some additional language here, which is basically to say in the event of a disaster or emergency, the bank board, again, we're talking about the individual bank board, could meet more or less frequently. Apparently, there was a bank in Crescent Butte that blew up due to natural gas. This is decades ago, but in the event the bank is literally not there, they would like to have the bank board to be able to meet at their own discretion a little less frequently or more frequently. You can't make this up.
Does it still require them to meet at the bank if the bank doesn't exist? Senator Roberts?
Well, apparently there was a safe. The vault was still left, so I suppose they could have met around the vault.
Is there... Our work is important here, people. Is there further discussion? Minority Leader Guzman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a question. If the bank is blown up and isn't there, is there a bank?
The Senate will stand in a 3-year recess so that we can investigate this situation. Senator Roberts.
Thank you. The answer to the question is yes, it's all about the vault.
No trouble. Is there further discussion? The motion is that the Senate concur with the House amendments to Senate Bill 126. Are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the Senate concurs with House amendments to Senate Bill 126. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the readoption of Senate Bill 126.
I feel like we should amend this somehow and send it back. Anybody with me on this?
Please.
I'm going to grant myself permission for a third reading amendment. Conference. The motion for the body is the readoption of Senate Bill 126. Is there further discussion? Are there any no votes? A request has been made not to blow up the bill. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 126 is readopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Woods. Senator Merrifield. Senator Newell. Senator Holbert. Majority Leader Scheffel. Consideration of Senator Marble. Consideration of governor's appointments consent calendar. Mr. Majors, would you read all of the appointments on the governor's appointments consent calendar?
Members of the Board of Real Estate Appraisers for term expiring July 1st, 2018, Mark Charles Pope of Colorado Springs, Colorado, serves as a real estate appraiser appointed. Peter Edward Musio of Denver, Colorado, serves as a member of the public reappointed. Scott Michael Rose of Lafayette, Colorado, serves to serve as a representative of appraisal management companies reappointed. Members of the State Historical Society Board of Directors for a term expiring July 1st, 2016, Kenneth Wayne Lund of Lone Tree, Colorado, appointed. For a term expiring July 1st, 2017, Rick Pedersen of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Members of the Special Funds Board for Workers' Compensation Self-Insurers for a term expiring July 1st, 2019. Jeffrey L. Green of Loveland, Colorado, serves as a manager or employee of self-insured employers in good standing with knowledge of risk management and finance, appointed. Andrea Marie Charles Matthews of Wheat Ridge, Colorado, serves as a member to serve as a manager or employee of self-insured employers in good standing, reappointed.
Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate confirm the governor's appointments as detailed on the consideration of governor's appointments consent calendar, which includes members of the Board of Real Estate Appraisers, members of the State Historical Society Board of Directors, and members of the Special Funds Board for Workers' Compensation Self-Insurers.
Is there any discussion on any of the appointments on the governor's appointments consent calendar? Are there any no votes on any of the appointments? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Mark Charles Pope, Peter Edward Musio, and Scott Michael Rose are appointed as members of the Board of Real Estate Appraisers. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Kenneth Wayne Lund and Rick Pedersen are appointed as members of the State Historical Society Board of Directors. With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Jeffrey L. Green and Andrea Marie Charles Matthews are appointed as members of the Special Funds Board for Workers' Compensation Self-Insurers. Consideration of governor's appointments. Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate lay over the consideration of governor's appointments calendar to April 4th.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The consideration of governor's appointments will lay over until April 4th. Announcements. Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, colleagues, we are going to move briefly into a special orders calendar. that will be twofold. First, we'll do a special orders calendar, consent calendar. So if you want to go to tomorrow's action as detailed in your calendar, we'll bring up the second reading calendar, consent with the exception of 2 bills. Mr. President, I move that the Senate take up special orders second reading of bills consent calendar comprised of the following bills: Senate Bill 168, Senate Bill 171, House Bill 1060, Senate Bill 166, House Bill 1306, and House Bill 1109 at the hour of 10:10.
The motion is that the Senate take up a special orders calendar at the hour of 10:10 for the bills articulated by the Majority Leader. Since they are in your calendar, page 3 and page 4, with the exceptions of Senate Bill 165 and House Bill 1323, we will not print them for distribution unless somebody requests a copy. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will take up a special orders consent calendar. Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of special orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of special orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Tate will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the coat rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, will you please read the titles to all the bills listed on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 168 by Senators Roberts, Representative Brown, concerning the ability of a political subdivision from an adjoining state to jointly operate an airport in Colorado. Senate Bill 171 by Senators Martinez, Dominguez, Sheffield, and Representative Tyler, concerning modification and clarification of the statutes pertaining to the new Energy Improvement District. House Bill 1060 by Representative Tyler and Senator Baumgartner, concerning roadside memorials for fallen state patrol officers. Senate Bill 166 by Senator Woods and Representative Kagan, concerning the creation of transportation fuel distributors tax liens. House Bill 1306 by Representative Williams and Senator Holbrook, concerning revision of the state statutes governing mortgage loan originators to conform more closely to applicable federal law in a connection therewith amending, relocating, and repealing provisions in accordance with the Federal Secure and Fair Enforcement for Mortgage Licensing Act of 2008. House Bill 1109 by Representatives Becker J. and Becker Kane, Senator Sonnenberg and Donovan, concerning limits of the basic tenets of Colorado water law placed on the ability of certain federal agencies to impose conditions on water right owner in exchange for permission to use the federal land.
Majority Leader Sheffel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the committee adopt all the bills listed on the special orders, second reading of bills consent calendar, which includes Senate Bill 168 and its associated local government committee report, Senate Bill 171, House Bill 1060, Senate Bill 166 and its associated Finance Committee report, House Bill 1306 and its associated Business, Labor, and Technology Committee report, and House Bill 1109. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion on any of the committee reports? The motion before the body is the adoption of all the reports to all the bills on the special orders, second reading of bills consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The reports are adopted. Is there any discussion on any of the bills listed on the special orders consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion for the body is the adoption of the bills on the special order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those no. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come back to order. Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
March 31st, 2016, Mr. President, your committee, the whole basic report is under consideration. The following attached bills being second reading thereof makes following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 168 is amended, Senate Bill 171, Senate Bill 166 is amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed to place on the counter for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1060, House Bill 1306 is amended, House Bill 1109 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the counter for third reading and final passage.
Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
You've heard the motion. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Senate Bill 168 is amended, Senate Bill 171, Senate Bill 166 as amended passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1060, House Bill 1306 as amended, House Bill 1109 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, colleagues, now we're going to pick up the two bills from tomorrow's consent calendar that we didn't do and head over to tomorrow's general order second reading of bills calendar and pick up those two as well. So, Mr. President, I move that the Senate take up a special orders second reading of bills calendar comprised of Senate Bill 165, House Bill 1323, House Bill 1088, and House Bill 1005 at the hour of 10:17.
The motion by the Majority Leader is to take up a special order second reading of bills calendar at the hour of 10:17 to include the bills listed on page 3 and page 4 of today's calendar. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Having arrived at the hour of 10:17, the Senate will take up a special orders calendar. Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the special orders second reading of bills calendar.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of special orders second reading of bills. Senator Tate will take the chair.
I don't know. I did. But it's clearly on the routing sheet. Was there a fiscal? What was the fiscal? I don't know why it was double assigned to begin with.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, will you please read the title to Senate Bill 16-165?
Senate Bill 165 by Senator Grantham, Representative Young, concerning the requirements for an insurance company to be deemed to maintain an at-home office or regional home office in the state for purposes of tax on insurance premiums collected by the insurance company.
Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the committee refer Senate Bill 165 to the Committee on Appropriations. It made it to the floor in advance of its routing sheet route, and so we need to send it there. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? The motion before the body is the referral of the bill to the Appropriations Committee. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it and the motion passes. Mr. Majors, will you please read the title to House Bill 16-1323?
House Bill 1323 by Representative Kraft, Representative Cook, concerning changing the name of the Division of Labor to the Division of Labor Standards and Statistics.
Senator Cook.
Mr. Chair, I move House Bill 1323, and there are no committee reports.
Senator Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What this bill does, it changes the name of the Division of Labor and Employment within the Colorado Department of Employment to the Division of Labor Standards and Statistics. Because that's in statute, the name, we have to change it through statute. The Department of Labor came in and explained why they need it, because it says it creates a lot of confusion from their customers, which means the businesses that they work with and consumers, and it correctly reflects what they do by this name change. It had to come out of Business, Labor, and Technology 9-0, and I would ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1323? Senator Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to be a no vote, and I'll explain to you why. They say it's going to be more clear if it's Division of Labor instead of the Division of Labor Standards and Statistics. If you're a normal, regular person out there, I don't think it's easier to remember the Division of Labor Standards and Statistics, so I'm going to be a no vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1323. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, will you please read the title to House Bill 16-1088?
House Bill 1088 by Representative Dorr and Senator Roberts, concerning the authorization of the Fire Protection District to impose an impact fee on new development in connection therewith enacting the Public Safety Fairness Act.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1088 and the Local Government Committee report.
To the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In committee, what we did was reinforced that under this bill, only a local government in its sole discretion would be able to impose an impact fee or other similar development charge to fund the expenditures of a fire and emergency services provider. So it was reinforcing the decision is solely in the hands of the local government in their complete discretion. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the committee report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So in House Bill 1088, what we are doing here is allowing fire protection districts to confer with a city or county. This is dramatically different than the bill as introduced, so there was a significant strike below, and this only allows that conversation to occur between the fire protection districts and the developers to discuss if it would be appropriate to have an impact fee imposed at the local government level prior to the development taking place. And this goes to some of the proactive steps that we might take as we know that fire continues to be a dramatic impact on those living in Colorado. We know that there's going to be a significant population increase. Fire protection districts are dependent solely on ad valorem taxes to fund infrastructure, equipment, personnel, and other costs of providing fire protection and emergency medical services. We learned that in 2002 there was a special session, but special districts were not part of the discussion then on impact fees. So what we are trying to do is get to a point where fire districts are at the front end of the conversation so that when new development occurs, we are making sure that the cost of fighting fire is appropriately put on the new residents and not on everybody who surrounds the area where the development is occurring. So this is, House Bill 1088 is clarifying the fact that local government could decide to do this, again, with the input from the fire districts and the developers. I think it's very important for new development to pay its way, but that's putting it in the hands of local government. They can have the umbrella 30,000-foot elevation level to make sure that development is not taxed so heavily that it can occur. I am married to a home builder, very important to me that development in Colorado be able to occur, but I also think that we need to be proactive, and I would ask for your support.
Senator Kavalis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise in support of House Bill 1088. I am a member of the Local Government Committee, and we heard this bill in committee, and there was good discussion in the committee, and the Fire Chiefs Association, for example, is in full support of this. And as the good senator from the Four Corners area eloquently described the bill, the re-engrossed version of the bill is really about facilitating communication between the local jurisdiction and the fire protection district to consider ways to make sure that they're enhancing public safety and consider whether or not the impact of new developments and how to deal with that. So I rise in support of House Bill 1088.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I asked for a yes vote on this. It's interesting. This isn't just more rural areas these fire districts are in. In Louisville, we still have a fire district, and they are very dependent on the source of income we're talking about today. And a few years ago, we had some issues come up where they increased the mill that they got from through a popular vote, and then had a decrease through some other governmental action. And so they finally got to the point where they're doing their response times for ambulances at the standard that's promulgated nationally, and all of a sudden they're at risk of not being able to make that. This is right in the middle of a suburb of Denver going on. So this is a great way to go, having this communication up front. Then people can work out their issues as opposed to having disagreements or problems later. So I ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Heath? Senator Roberts? Senator Heath.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would ask for an aye vote on this as well. When we got into discussions around TIF last year and the fire districts came in, and we definitely need to give them some flexibility in terms of financing their new developments in terms of new fire stations and all of that. And we definitely, I think, need to give them this authority. So I would wholeheartedly ask for a yes vote on this bill.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just again ask for the support here. We do have this bill supported by the Colorado Fire Chiefs Association, Colorado Professional Firefighters, Colorado Municipal League, Colorado Counties, Inc., and the Special District Association. Again, we are keeping local government in the driver's seat. Any kind of impact fee would only be implemented with their consent and direction, but we would put the fire districts into the conversation with the developer at the front end. I think this is very important, and just ask for your aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1088. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. No. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Mr. Majors, will you please read the title to House Bill 161005?
House Bill 1005 by Representatives Asgar and Danielson and Senator Merrifield concerning the use of rain barrels to collect precipitation from a residential rooftop for non-potable outdoor uses.
Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I ask for a brief senatorial 5 while we locate the bill sponsor.
We will be in a senatorial 5. The committee will come back to order. Senator Merrifield.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Groundhog Day all over again. Members, I bring you House Bill 1005, Raindrops Are Falling on My Roof. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that overwhelming ovation.
Senator Merrifield, don't forget at the conclusion of these expository remarks to move the bill.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Rather than go all through all the details of the bill, because I think most of you are pretty much aware of it, we had a lot of discussion about it last year. However, I move House Bill 1005. So if you remember, it allows residents to capture a small amount of water for personal use on their landscapes. And what we really thought was advantageous of the bill, that allows urban residents to connect themselves to the water system in our state. And as you know, we are not blessed with a huge amount of water. The more our urban residents understand the system of our rain collection, the better for all users, I think. So currently, the use of residential rain barrel is not allowed in Colorado. This bill would allow it. And we did a lot of work with proponents and opponents on issues that they had with the bill. We've come to, I think, a very collaborative and fruitful conclusion on this rain barrel bill. It passed the House 63-1, and I would hope that we would have likewise a great majority here on the Senate floor. So with that, once again, I move House Bill 1005.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 161005. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill passes. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
Hey. The Senate will come back to order. Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Mr. Majors, will you please read the report?
March 31st, 2016, Mr. President, the committee of the whole basic reports under consideration. The following task bills being second reading thereof makes following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1323, House Bill 1088 as amended, House Bill 1005 passed on second reading in order to vice place to the counter for third reading final passage. Senate Bill 165 referred to the Committee on Appropriations.
Senator Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
You have heard the motion. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, are there any no votes? With 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. House Bill 1323, House Bill 1088 as amended, House Bill 1005 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 165 referred to the Committee on Appropriations. Announcements. Are we doing his deal?
You're next.
Senator Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Mr. President, thank you. Members, I rise this morning to give special recognition and honor to Mr. John A. Vigil, who passed away this week in Pueblo. A decorated World War II veteran who served our country and this great nation from 1944 to 1946 with the United States Army 6th Army Division. John will and is an American hometown hero. I remember after returning from Iraq in 2003, he said, "Young man, we have a place for you to join us and hang out with some of your own." He had taken up a small collection from veterans there in Pueblo to give me a gift of a lifetime membership to the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars. He was a retiree of the Pueblo Chemical Depot, a member of the Pueblo Ritual Veterans Team, which he had been a member since 1986 to present. He was the commander of that ritual team for the last 10 years, and he, along with the team, had faithfully performed and provided military honors for the deceased veterans in southern and southeastern Colorado, which on average in that part of the state is about 200 a year.
He's a member of the VFW, the Knights of Columbus, the Eagles, and many more great organizations. And John, we recognize your years of faithful service. I know that Southern Colorado and a piece of our veterans community will never be the same. Semper Fi and Godspeed.
Colleagues, the Senate, I think, will stand in a moment of silence out of respect and reverence for the loss of an American hero, and to the V. Hill family, you have our gratitude for your service and your sacrifice, and certainly for your loss. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Senator Garcia. Senator Newell.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. Members, we have somebody in our midst today in our chamber who is now become a friend of mine, but I have a surprise tribute for him. He does not know this, but he is a former senior software engineer and is the founder of the nonprofit, the Blind Institute Technology, a nonprofit organization. And that organization helps with those who are unemployed, skilled and visually impaired, skilled blind and visually impaired, who are unemployed IT tech professionals. So he has put together this nonprofit and has matched employers with candidates, training and coaching of those candidates. He received this year the Colorado Technology Association, the APEX Award for the Talent Champion of the Year. And currently, I am working with him on inclusive technology for state employees here at the Capitol. So with that, I'd like to present the Senate of the Colorado Legislature convened in the second regular session of the 70th General Assembly. Hereby extends heartiest congratulations and commendation to Michael Hess. The members of the Colorado State Senate wish to congratulate Michael Hess on his recent appointment to the Denver Commission for People with Disabilities. Michael has a proven history of advocacy for those living with disabilities. He established the Blind Technology Institute, which provides training and mentoring for permanent positions in IT employment. Michael has shown that disability does not have to be an impediment to success. The members of the Colorado State Senate commend Michael Hess's proven excellence and wish him every success in the future. On request of Senator Linda Newell, given this 31st day of March 2016, State Capitol, Denver, Colorado, Bill L. Cadman, President of the Senate. Congratulations, Mr. Hess.
Mr. Hess, welcome. Further announcements? Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, there are two changes to the committee schedule. One is, upon adjournment, Senate Transportation Committee will not be hearing Senate Bill 140. And then tomorrow morning, add to the Appropriations Committee schedule Senate Bill 165.
Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, just wanted to remind you that tomorrow Colorado Mountain College will be having a legislative reception over by the old Supreme Court from 8 to 9. They've done a big effort on this to pull this reception into the building this year so that more of us are able to attend with more ease. So we would love to have you join us and meet some of the great folks of this wonderful institution of higher ed. Thank you.
Senator Newell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, remember tomorrow is the rally at the Capitol on the West Steps for the Colorado for Kids Rally, and please wear blue. It is beginning the month of child abuse prevention, so hope you can be there, remember this, and wear blue tomorrow. Thank you.
Further announcements? Where are Senator Jones and Stedman? Jones and Stedman. Raise your hands if that's sounds like your name. There's one. A call of the Senate has been moved and sustained. Sergeants, please secure the exits, retrieve the senators. Mr. Majors, please call the roll.
Senators Aguilar, Baumgartner, Carroll, Cook.
Senator Shuffle.
You, Mr. President, move the call be raised.
Without objection, the call will be raised. Would Senator Jones and Senator Stedman please? What? Senator Jones, move the call. Sergeants, would you retrieve Senator Jones? By force if necessary, but no chokehold. There he is. Senator Jones, Senator Stedman, to the center aisle. Choir, to the well.
Ready.
Present your age.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matt and Pat and Matt. Happy birthday to you.
Encore, encore, encore. Senator Jones, I'm going to fine you $5 and waive it because it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Consider that a gift from me. And Senator Stedman, I'm just going to waive the $10 I was going to give you. Happy birthday. Further announcements. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, there are appropriate birthday treats in the rear of the chamber. And we have one more announcement.
Senator Johnston.
Thank you, Mr. President. I thought that they had left, but they are still here up in the gallery. We do have folks from the Be Well initiative who are here today, which are raising sort of the practices of healthy habits for young people and for grown-ups across the Northeast Denver area. And so if you see them, have a chance to say hello and thank them for their wonderful work. So thanks so much to the Be Well folks for joining us today.
Well, we welcome them and we fine you $2, and if you don't have it, Senator Heath will pay it. Chances are you don't have it. Are there further announcements? We do have some folks that are interested in seeing the video of the restoration, which we're going to show, and so our guests in the gallery will also have a chance to see something special, which is a renovation of this chamber over the last 2 years was captured in a 2-minute and 48-second video, which you are about to see. I hope you enjoy it. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adjourn to 9 a.m. Friday, April 1st.
Prepare. The motion is to adjourn until Friday, April 1st. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will be adjourned until 9 a.m. Friday, April 1st.